Don't talk yet. Stay inside.
Are we really using all of these?
Yeah, they're just going to be quick. Okay, ready? They're all. I'm just going to get this out of the way because it's irritating my leg. Ready? Okay.
Do you think you have reached your target audience? Yes, we do.
Now we'll be. Let's talk about it. Okay.
Do you think?
No, you don't read out the question. Just go straight into it.
Okay, we feel like we have reached our target audience quite successfully, and like this is basically gonna explain why.
Okay, so we thought we appealed to our audience through 5 different things. Firstly,
the music. We felt that the song we used, it was very like now, and it was like
modern.
Yeah, our target audience will be able to will like this music. They'll enjoy it because they listen to it themselves. It's like a UK grime song. So we felt that by using this song, it would like connote some of the themes that are going to be in our film now and in this opening sequence and later on, such as pregnancy, cheating. Maybe not pregnancy, but cheating. The abuse through the lyrics like.
Yeah, and more over.
Basically,
yeah. Go on.
One more time, please, because that was so bad.
Okay.
I heard myself.
Okay, go.
We do think we have reached our target audience quite successfully, as we felt that we had some appeal to them, and yeah.
So we felt that we reached or appealed to our target audience through 5 different ways. Firstly,
the music. The song we used, it was like it fit within the genre of UK grime, and as we said before, and you can see in our Meet My Audience PowerPoints on both of our blogs, our target audience liked that kind of music, so we felt that by using a song that fits within the genre of what they enjoy, it would appeal to them more. And the lyrics in the song like connote some of the themes, such as cheating. Yeah, it's like this song portrays the hardships of working class people, which is what we was trying to do throughout our film, and it connoted some of the themes that are going to be in our film later on.
Adding on that, it the audience can also personally identify it because either they maybe have gone through girls maybe have been in a relationship where the boy's cheating on them, or maybe they know someone that has
cheated on them,
that has gone through that whole process. Secondly, the title. We felt it was short and snappy, which is conventional British social realist films. They don't tend to be long. Our title was Maze, and we thought it appealed to our audience in such a way that they could personally identify it because they could literally themselves be in a maze, or they might be in a problem in which they can't escape from and they're stuck.
It was hard
and
to find a way out,
and this reflects onto our character Leah, who's also stuck within a situation, a maze,
which is finding hard to escape from.
Yeah.
In addition to that, it's like a maze, like literally taking the meaning of maze literally. Our target audience of 16 to 24-year-olds, like they're like more likely to actually go into a maze, like at a theme park or whatever, rather than say a 40 to 80-year-old kind of thing, because like they find it fun and it's something new to try out and try to take different routes and paths, which is kind of like why we felt that this title would in particular Maze.
Yeah, it just represents I think the journey of life, especially
for the
ages 16 to 24.
Also, the mise en scène we felt appealed to our target audience, as we used the location of like a council estate. We felt that these flats, like youngsters tend to live on them or hang around them, or to old people cause trouble on them. So we felt that our target audience, whether they be bad or good, they'd have some kind of identification with that location. And we also used the underground, which is very like iconic for the UK, as in particular London, because it's the only underground in Europe or the world. I'm not quite sure, but yeah. And we felt that this, like, because young people don't tend to drive, it's like a lot of youngsters take public transport and whatnot, so they'd be able to identify with her going through the subway, heading to the station and whatnot. Old people are more likely to drive, and they can't afford to be driving, so that also represents one of our themes of poverty as well, because petrol's expensive nowadays.
Also adding on that, because they're such iconic sites, for example, the subway is only something you see in London. It's not something you see outside in the countryside, and also it's really culturally relative, and it just sets the location of London. And we use the location of council estates, and this is very conventional British social realist films, as they use similar locations as council flats, rundown council flats, small rooms.
Yeah, so it appeals specifically to Brits. Basically, like people in America probably wouldn't understand like the location or why we've used these things in the mise en scène, because they wouldn't really recognise the underground and the council flats, as they have nice plush houses.
Yeah. Characters, Leah, we only have one character, because we wanted it to be a restricted narrative where the audience are limited to only see her perspective and see life and the situation she's going through her eyes, and also the situations she goes through are situations that our audience, 16 to 24-year-olds, may go through as well, and this means that they can personally identify with Leah, the character, as it's just relatable, and the situations that she goes through are just realistic, as they happen in the real world.
We also felt that we appealed to our target audience through our themes and situations, because we specifically picked them so that like our audience could identify with them. For example, the pregnancy, the theme of escape and aspiration, the theme of domestic abuse, and we felt that teen pregnancy is like a common thing in this like generation, so we felt that by using this it would definitely create a lot of appeal, whether they're working class or middle class, because a lot of working class people, it doesn't really matter what class you are, in fact, like a lot of people get pregnant, but the most common thing to do within this age group of 16 to 24, particularly the younger end of our target audience, like, is to abort it. Whereas we felt that we'd like subvert this typical representation and just make her keep it, just to show like a different side of them, a more positive like representation of teenagers.
And I think that was our unique selling point, because we didn't want to show the stereotypical teen mum running away or aborting the baby,
because it portrays them in a more positive light, and we felt that teenagers needed that, because the media constantly like portray them negatively.
So now we'll be talking about the strengths and weaknesses we received from our audience.
Okay, quoting one of the strengths is a good jump cut, good editing, equals precise. The graphics were good, in brackets the typography.
We are happy because we spent a lot of time trying to get the editing precise, and the jump cuts we're happy with as well.
We felt that was a nice touch,
nice touch at the end in the subway to show that time passing on. And the graphics, we spent a lot of time narrowing it down. We didn't want to just use any graphic. We wanted to use graphics that connoted visually an actual maze. So we're happy with that comment.
We felt that we chose the graphics that were like signified the most of an actual maze, so
another positive is the music, the production credits at the start, the bus scene where Leah's in the bus and the flats are going past her, and also the camera work.
We're happy they like the music, because the music took us a while to find a good song that like wasn't copyright and that we could use, and we felt that this song like had signified our film. Basically, we felt like it was made for our film.
Also, I like that they picked up upon good production credits, because we didn't want to just use 2 production credits. We wanted to use plenty, because we are making a film for Film 4, and they get a lot of sponsorships and financial help from other production companies, and we wanted to highlight that in our
and
show multiple production credits at the start, just to emphasise their financial limitations.
Quoting another strength, the camera work and editing was performed very successfully. Music track worked well, along with the graphics shown. So this is kind of similar feedback, but we spent a lot of time editing, trying to get it as precise as possible. And the camera work, we tried to include a range of shots just to show but we didn't just want to think about the shot types and, oh my god, we have to use this one and
it's
this
what
one.
It means, what
we wanted to look at what is signified for the audience. We didn't just want to throw in a close-up for the sake of it. We wanted to think, okay, why are we using a close-up? What effect would this have on the audience?
Now for the weaknesses. Okay.
Have you got more strengths?
No, because they. Okay. Now for the weaknesses. It says here some shots were too dark. We acknowledge this comment, but British social realist films are typically conventionally filmed in natural lighting. Therefore, we did not have the equipment of spotlights and whatnot to make it look amazing. We wanted it to be natural, to add verisimilitude. We didn't want to add anything like extra lighting.
Anything that's not natural, basically, because British social realism films typically just use like real life locations and lighting that comes with it. So,
but we thank you for that comment.
Another weakness is could use more range of shots. Title shouldn't have covered the character. Well, we acknowledge this, but we felt that we used as much a big of range of shots we could, because we didn't want to just, as I said before, throw in shots for no reason. We had to look at the meaning of what it connoted, and we wanted to create a certain feeling within the audience for our restricted narrative and the shot type. So we didn't want to just put in anything. The fact that the title covered the character in the subway, we didn't feel like it was really relevant to show her face, because we see her jumping forward and then we see her face, but we don't want the audience to see her face too much until significant moments.
I think at that time, that shot, the most significant thing was the title.
Yeah.
Because she was in the subway, and the subway is like a maze.
Isolated,
therefore, we wanted to emphasise the title maze rather than the audience focus on her. Now for the improvements. No. Okay. Go on.
The graphics happened a little too quickly at times, such as the beginning of the sequence. Well, we didn't want to leave the graphics there for too long, just having them hanging there, because it was just irrelevant. We just wanted to have them long enough so the audience could read it, rather than just keep them on the screen for the sake of it, isn't it?
And also, I think, is this about the production credits?
All the graphics?
Yeah, for the production credits, because we have so many production credits at the start, we did not want to lose the sense of the technique we used of a smash mouth opening, because if the production credits dragged out, it would have just lost interest within the audience, and the smash mouth opening wouldn't have had the same effect of being loud and chaotic and grabbing audience's attention from the start. Now the improvements?
Yep.
Okay, so one of the improvements is that the sound, we agree with this. I think they're specifically talking about where she takes out her headphones.
The precision.
Yeah, we acknowledge this comment, and we actually agree with the respondent who said this, because we wanted that to be a bit more tighter, because I think it fades in and out just a bit later when she takes out her headphones. So if we was to do this again, we would definitely just make that scene more tighter and make the sound precise to when she takes out and puts in her headphones back in.
Another improvement was about the actual that scene itself as well, and how when the neighbour calls her, if she's trying to ignore her, she shouldn't have turned around. She should have just carried on walking. However, we felt that this wasn't necessary. We felt that we wanted her to turn around and take out her headphones to show that she's blatantly ignoring her, because she wants her neighbour to know she's ignoring her, and it shows the impact of her face within the daylight. So we wanted that scene. We wanted the neighbour to be shown what she's been going through and what she's had to experience, and no one's helped her. So it's kind of trying to make the neighbour feel bad. So we didn't want her to just carry on walking with her back to her. We wanted the neighbour to feel.
I think at that scene, that's when we wanted to signify the theme of isolation, where she's just closing herself off to the rest of the world, and also emphasises how something has terribly gone wrong. And I think that's the turning point where the audience really realise and recognise that, and
that she's all alone.
But we acknowledge the comment, and thank you.